It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Planet MFL video where we leave this planet. We leave the planet Earth and we go to Planet MFL. We talk MFL, I show you my journey in MFL, and that is the end of my positive tone. Sad news, very sad news to report from MFL. I don't know if you can hear from my tone change, but sad news. AFC Amreezy are out of the cup. Still hasn't sunk in. It happened yesterday. We're out of the cup in a painful way. I'm going to show you exactly how in a bit, how we exited the cup. Pure pain, pure MFL pain. And on the one hand, I'm devastated to go out of the cup against a team we were very equally matched against. Our ratings were almost the exact same in defense, midfield, attack, very similar. On one hand, I'm really sad. On the other hand, it has shown me very quickly how powerful this game has become, how quickly invested I have become in MFL. I was never this upset when I was playing games like Football Manager. It's something about playing other humans. You're never playing the computer. You're always playing other humans. And there's just something, and you're buying the players yourselves, or they have a value, they have a monetary value, which just makes it more engaging. You're more invested. You feel like it's your club more, so you're more hurt when you go out than I ever have been in any other football managing game. So on the one hand, pure pain. On the other hand, once again, fair play to MFL. You've got me hooked. This game has got me hooked and has well been worth the £100 I invested to start this game off. I play a game every day. It ruins my day, or it makes my day. Recently, it's been ruining my day. The wheels have fallen off. I've been making huge mistakes. If this is the first time you see my videos, it's my first time playing MFL this season. The seasons are 6 weeks long, so it's my first 6-week season, and I'm making huge mistakes. All I'm trying to tell myself is we start next season, season 6. We go again. The mistakes I'm making now, I'm not going to make them again. I'm learning some harsh lessons here. I'm going to show you in this video basically the mistakes I've been making, and we're going to start off by looking at how I went out of the Aspirants Cup in pure pain. Okay, let's set the scene. So this is our cup game yesterday where we were knocked out of the cup in pure pain. So it was a close game. We didn't create a lot of chances in this game. I've paused the game on 97 minutes. This is in extra time. First of all, I didn't know extra time. I was playing the cup game and it was 1-1 after 90 minutes. And I didn't even know what happens. Does it go straight to penalties? Is there extra time? Do we have to play a replay? What happens? I hadn't even thought that far ahead of what happens in the cup games when it's drawing at 90 minutes. Turns out there is extra time. And I'm guessing penalties if it's still a draw after extra time. I'll never know that, because we didn't make it to penalties. So we changed the formation to the first mistake. Huge mistake, changing the formation. I should never have changed my formation. I was playing a 4-3-3 attack, and I won 5 games in a row. I then got this guy Inusa on loan, and he's a great CDM. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to change the formation slightly to accommodate this CDM. Big mistake. I should have just played him in CM, where he's a little bit worse than CDM, but he's still got great attributes. His stats are kind of better as a CM than a CDM, but his position is CDM. So I let the MFL rating system really throw my tactics. Big mistake. Don't do that again, Amreezy. Learn your lesson. So back to 4-3-3 attack now, because with this game and the last game playing 4-3-3 defend, we just aren't creating chances. There's something about not having a cam and having a CDM, which is just like so defensive, so not creating attacks. And I've noticed the difference in switching to maybe I've not got the right players for this formation. Maybe you need more attacking centre midfielders who bomb forward. Maybe it works for you. Maybe your formation 4-3-3 works better. But for me, it was working in 4-3-3 attack. And I changed to a 4-3-3 defense, which was my third formation change this season. Again, I need to stop changing my formations through the season. Pre-season is the time when I need to work out what formation I'm going to have with the season. Then I need to stick with it because the players that I buy, players that I loan are all for that system. And I've really suffered this year with the loans, originally getting loans for one formation and then needing loans for another formation. And I'll explain later a huge mistake I've made with the loans and having to pay now a huge rev share penalty. That's all coming up. Don't worry, there's more mistakes coming up. But this is the first one, changing formation. I should never have done it. Because in this game, look at our XG. At this point in the game, our XG was like almost half, not half, but like we had 0.8 XG. They had 1.19. We had 3. I mean, it just wasn't good. And yeah, we had 9 shots and they had 8. But from the highlights, I can tell you, we didn't have that many good chances compared to before when we were playing with the 4-2-3 attack. We just seemed to be creating way more. So, now to the pain. This is what was happening. So, it was 1-1 in extra time, 97 minutes. We get a free kick. We go down the wing with Radix. He passes to our best player who goes around the goalkeeper and misses that chance. Open net. We're going to have to watch it again. Our best player, who, by the way, thank you to a comment in one of my videos I got today on one of my older videos, where I think someone who I'm guessing they're Turkish, but maybe they just have a good knowledge of world pronunciations. They told me it's not pronounced Coca. It's pronounced Koja. So I've got to start saying Koja, and we can't call him Coca-Cola anymore. If I'm getting any of my other pronunciations wrong, let me know. I'm always happy to learn. This miss from Koja, our best striker, was just before they scored the goal. Wait, where is it? I'm gonna relive it. I'm gonna relive the pain. I'm torturing myself. He goes around the goalkeeper and misses an open net. Our best striker, best finishing, missed the captain. He'd already scored 1 that game. Then they go up and score the winner. Then they go up, based probably from the goal kick. He boots it up. They win a corner. They go up just after that miss and do this. And do this. If he'd have scored, we'd have been 2-1 up. Maybe everything would have been different and we would have won 2-1. Instead, we lost 2-1. We're out of the cup. I'm devastated. So I think one mistake was playing this formation where we didn't create enough chances. Second mistake is changing formation. That's the first mistake. First mistake is changing formation. Second mistake, I think, is loaning out my best players. Because I'm frustrated at the game right now. I'm annoyed. And you know what? I'm annoyed that I loaned out some of these guys who aren't progressing, haven't progressed all season, haven't made a single bit of progression. If I'd have kept them at my club, maybe these are the kind of games where, and it's happened in a few league games where I've just lost by 1 goal or have drawn. Maybe a few of those games would have been different if I'd have had these guys just to make that bit of difference, just to have some really good players to separate draws and narrow defeats. Maybe I shouldn't have loaned out these guys because they're on loan. This guy's only played 5 games. He's only played 5 games. These guys are playing games. They're not developing. They're not doing anything while they're on loan. So I'm disappointed. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have loaned out so many guys. And then we get to the fact that the players that I've loaned in I've made a huge mistake with one of them especially. One of them I made a huge mistake. I loaned this guy. I have loaned. So basically, I wanted to change my formation. I needed more central midfielders, and I rushed into making loans on the first day of the mid-season transfer window. And I just rushed. I don't know why I did this. I'm so annoyed with myself. If you look at my rev shares, they're all like 1%, 2% penalty, 0%, 1%. 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, and I'm gonna meet all of these requirements. And I stupidly rushed into this deal. Varga, 0%, but 10% penalty if I don't play 10 games. And I forgot that the second half of the season, there's less games than the first half of the season because the first half of the season has the cup group stage where you get 6 games. And then you have the 11 league games. So I just thought quickly, you know, all of my previous loans that I did at the beginning of the season, they've all played more than 10 games. So I rushed into thinking, when I loaned that guy, I was like, I need a centre midfielder. I'm definitely going to play this guy. 10 games, sure, no problem. All of my other guys, we've reached the halfway point of the season. They've all played 10 games. He's going to be first team. I forgot about the cup. And now I'm going to have to pay that 10% penalty because he's only played... Oh, by the way, he played in that cup game where we lost and was terrible. He got like a five rating. He was the weak link in our midfield. So he's terrible. He's useless. I've fallen out with him already. He needs to play 9 more games, and I have 9 games left in the season. I'm out of the cup, so I can't have any more cup games. There's 9 league games in the season. He needs to play all 9 games, and his physical is 57. He's not going to play 9 games. And if he does play all 9 games, towards the end of the season, he's going to be so tired and terrible, he's going to cost us points. So we've got to pay the 10% penalty now, because it's worth paying the 10% penalty at this stage and keeping my squad fresh and rotating them than playing this guy for all 9 games and having him just deteriorate and just be a useless... But it's basically like playing with 10 men towards the end of the season. And it's too late for you to convince me to do any otherwise because in today's league game, I didn't play him. So he's not... He's now got 8 league games left and he needs 9 games. So we are going to have to pay a 10% penalty on a guy who we don't even need because we loaned in this Inusa guy who's now playing centre midfield because he's got dribbling 70, passing 72. So he's a better centre midfielder. So we should never have loaned that guy in the first place because this guy is a better loan anyway. So I'm just... a huge mistake. Next season, I'm going to be so much more careful with loans. I loaned too many players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players I've got on loan. And only 5 of them are playing in my first team. I don't think I need loan players for the backup players. They can just be rubbish players that I've got in my squad who maybe who are young and could maybe get some match experience. So I loaned too many players this season. I should never have accepted a 10% appearance fee. And in case you're wondering, I have already cheekily asked to cancel the contract of him. I did that yesterday. I was like, excuse me, Rubricchio, can I cancel the contract? But he refused my cancellation, and now I've made an enemy. May a curse be upon Rubricchio's house for giving me that dodgy deal. You knew I was a new manager. You saw that opportunity to take a 10% hit on a new manager who wasn't going to be able to play him for the second half of the season that many times. That's my mistake. Next season in MFL, there's no way I'm going to be loaning players with that higher rev shares midway through the season. So that's a mistake. And then I think they're all the mistakes, to be fair. That's all the mistakes. Loaning too many players, loaning players with too high rev share penalties, and changing formations too many times in the season. They're the 3 big mistakes. Oh, and possibly loaning out my players. I keep seeing what I've fallen for is I'm a new manager. So I've been reading a lot about MFL, watching other MFL content, reading the Discord, and everyone says, oh, you shouldn't have players that are too good for your squad. You should loan them out. And I believe that. Or they're like, oh, you should take advantage of loans. And I just think I believe too much what other people are doing. And I've not concentrated enough on my strategy and changing my formation to be more defensively solid. Forget that. We are not a defensively solid team. I don't want us to be defensively solid. I want us to be free flowing because our defense is rubbish. If I put a CDM in my midfield, he's not gonna. He's protecting a terrible defense. I've got a 53 rated goalkeeper. We are gonna concede lots of goals every game. And unless, if I hadn't have loaned out my 18-year-old goalkeeper, I would have had a 70 odd rated goalkeeper in Spark who would have been amazing. Where is he? We loaned out our 70-odd rated. Now, maybe they will progress, and maybe the XP that they're gaining isn't showing yet, but they're building the XP in the bank. I get that. And I get that he wouldn't be training with players of a good enough quality. But here's my thinking. Is it worth taking a hit on 3 players' progression if it means they get the entire club promoted into the next division? Because I'm not that far off promotion. I'm 3rd. I'm probably not going to get promoted because I've played all the easy teams and I've got really hard games all as the last few games of the season. So I'm probably not going to get promoted. If I'd have kept these 3 loan guys, a 69 rated goalkeeper, a striker, a cam with 72, and a winger with 72, it would have meant I wouldn't have had to loan in those guys to fill in for those guys. So I would have had more rev share. And yes, these 3 guys, maybe they wouldn't have progressed as quickly as they would have out on loan. But is it worth taking a hit on those 3 guys if it means more MFL for a higher league finish, going further in the cup, getting promoted, and then when you're in a higher division, earning way more MFL from the league positions in the next division? And then with that MFL, I can buy packs, buy more players, and maybe get a few more green rated cards from the packs. So is it worth using 3 players to stunt their growth, not have them trade? And also, because they'll be the best players in the team, their match XP will go up because they'll probably be getting really high match ratings. So maybe the penalty they take in training, they make up for in match rating. So 4 mistakes I think I've made. Loans, formation changes, loaning out players, and whatever the 4th one was. I'm flustered. You can probably tell. I'm annoyed. So let's get to the final annoyance of today's video. By the way, I love MFL. I'm having so much fun. And the reason why I'm annoyed is because I'm so invested in this game. And I don't want it to sound like I'm grumpy at the game, angry at the game. I love the game. I'm so invested in it. And that's what I'm almost happy that I'm annoyed, because I'm like really invested in the game now. And I can tell that I'm invested because of how annoyed I'm getting, how I'm thinking different strategies for next season, how I'm thinking of not doing what everyone else seems to be doing, which is loaning out the best players, loaning in lots of players on cheap rev shares. I just want to play differently. So one of the things I'm going to do different now is I don't necessarily think it's the best thing for me to get promoted anyway, but I'm 3rd, but these guys are breathing down my neck. And we drew again today. We drew again against a team below us in the table. Again, a late winner on the 9th. We were winning 2-1. On the 90th minute, they equalized. Why does MFL hate me all of a sudden? Why does MFL hate me all of a sudden? A late exit in the cup, a late draw here in the league when we really could have done with 3 points in the league here. But we lost an equaliser in the 90th minute. Oh, it's a painful game to a team that had lost 5 games in a row in the league before this. They'd lost 5 games in a row, and I rested 1, 2, 3. I rested 3 players. The rest of it was my A team. Now, one of the things I'm going to do now is I've got like top of the league, 2nd in the league, all coming up really quickly. So I'm expecting a really bad run of form, a really bad set of fixtures. So what I'm going to do is not necessarily play my best players. The lone guy, I'm not even going to play at all. He's going to just rotate in, and I'm going to take that 10% penalty I'm going to pay and treat it as that's what I'm paying for the luxury of squad depth. He can come in centre midfield when we play the B team and just be a really good backup midfielder because he's 60 rated, but Inusa and Migari are 62 rated, so they're both better, have better stats. Inusa has dropped because he's better as a CDM, but I think he's got the stats to be a centre midfielder more than he has a CM because his defence is 60, but he's better at passing, physical, dribbling, pace. So I have noticed he's been getting a lot of assists. I've been playing a lot of friendlies trying to work out the formation. So Inusa's going to play a bit further forward and Roberts is going to play. Now, Roberts is 56 rated and I could rearrange my team to not have him playing and have a better overall rating. But at this point in the season, when I'm not feeling as confident about getting promoted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus giving my guys, not the lone guys, my guys match experience and hoping that they develop for next season. Because if I go on progression and we go this season's progression, the players that have developed the most is Koja, as we're calling him now. Koja, who I think he's developed like one more overall since my last video. Every video I make, his overall seems to be going one more up. So I've lost track of what number I told you he was last. He's gone up by 7. The next best player is Lushi. Now, Lushi technically isn't in my strongest 11 in terms of ratings because he's 59 here, but I do have 60 rated wingers on loan. But they're close to meeting their minimum requirements of appearances. So now I think Koja, Lucy, and Roberts, who's gone up by 2. These are my 3 players who have been progressing the most this season. They're all new players in the MFL universe. This is all their first year in MFL, so they've all got the potential to. I don't know where their ceiling is. So the fact that they've all progressed, these are my 3 players who progressed the most. So by that logic, I need to play those 3 players and not really worry if they're the 3 best players, but just give them time now, give them as much time as I can before next season. Then in the preseason before next season, we reassess how much did they progress, how far off are they off my best 11. But for now, this is my A team, and it's going to have those 3 guys in it. Roberts maybe shouldn't be in the A team, and because he's 27 years old, but I have seen 27-year-old players have like late spikes in their career, and we could like just advance him as much as we can this remainder of the season, and then sell him. If he goes from a 56 to a 58, that's a nicer player that I can sell than a 56, because I do have a good cam coming back from loan next season. So Roberts will be back up next season, and I've also got a 21-year-old cam called Kowaleski, but he's made 0 progression in any stats this season. So I'm kind of thinking he's either going to be a late bloomer, or maybe he's not going to progress that much. So I've kind of given up on him, and I'm going in on Roberts, who's gone up by 2. They were both 54 rated at the beginning of the season, and I was playing Kowaleski at the beginning because he was 21 and Roberts was 27. But Roberts has gone up more, so now I'm playing him. So I'm going to spend the remainder of the season playing all my loan guys, making sure, except for that one guy who has a 10% penalty, make sure all the other loan guys meet their minimum requirements. They're all very close to meeting their minimum requirements. 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 11 out of 15, 14 out of 15, 13 out of 15, 13 out of 15, 13 out of 15. So except for this guy, these guys are all going to avoid their penalties, which is good. It'll bring down the penalty rev share at the end. This is just going to be a painful 10% hit. I'm going to have to bite the bullet on that one and just rotate him in the team. And, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. It's impossible to get there now unless we make the playoffs. But even then, I would need to play him every game of the season and then hope we play 2 players. It's just not going to happen. So, and we wouldn't make the playoffs if we play him like with 20% fitness in all those games. I don't know how injuries work. Are there injuries in MFL? I'm not quite sure, but I'm guessing players can get injured if they don't. It must be able to get injured, right? I don't know. I've not seen any injuries. I just know that, you know, that's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to prioritize my rapidly developing players like Roberts, even though he's 27, even though he's 56 rated, he's growing. And at this stage of the season, when I'm worried that we're kind of slipping down the league, I just think he's not that far off the next best player. The next best player is 60. So it's 56 or 60, but he's growing. And I want to increase. So that's how I want to play the game. I want to look after my rapidly growing players, think about not loaning out my best players next season, and hopefully get a bit more luck. I mean, these injury time equalizers, going out of the cup after just missing an open net. We beat Holdfast, who are bottom of the table 7-1, and then we drew again. So we haven't had a good result. This is a good result, but they are bottom of the table with playing with players in 20% fitness. So we haven't had a good result maybe since there, when we were playing 4-3-3 attack. So yeah, back to 4-3-3 attack, swashbuckling football. AFC Amreezy is going to be a swashbuckling team this season anyway, where we just concede loads of goals, but we score lots of goals. I've been playing that same team in friendlies, Platin Bao. I've been playing him again a few times. And look, 5-2, 6-2. This is with 4-3-3 attack. There's a few defeats where I was experimenting with other formations and player roles. But yeah, with 4-3-3 attack, we score more goals, and I concede 2, I concede 2, I concede 2, I concede 1, I concede 2, I concede 5. We just have to accept we're going to concede lots of goals. But at least with 4-3-3 attack, we create chances. So it's a bit of a ramble, this video, a bit of a rant. My videos aren't usually this ranty. They are usually more composed. If this is your first MFL video you've seen of me, go check out the other videos. Also, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Helps me out massively. And I will hopefully be more happy, more calm, more relaxed in my next MFL video. Good luck with your remaining seasons. I hope your seasons aren't as frustrating as mine right now. I'll see you next time. Peace.